Good morning, Las Ventanas, and welcome to Las Ventanas Live with Brittany. We have Wayne here today. He's going to explain a little bit about his Civil War class coming up. And we got Joe in the back.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Nice to see you.
And she's here to talk a little bit about some things coming up. But for now, I'm going to start with the weekly. It is Wednesday, February 2nd. It's Groundhog Day. Hopefully this day does not repeat. I'm hoping it doesn't. But going into it, we have our music appreciation with Amy at 10, putting on the green, but it might be a little tough because it's windy.
Yeah.
Me and Joe fought the one yesterday during Chinese New Year. So just be careful outside. We have yoga with Cheryl, and I've noticed that we've had some more residents joining into that class. So that is great. And Cheryl loves seeing everyone coming in. So please don't forget to sign up for all activities. And going right along, our happy hours are still canceled. So cancellation for happy hour as of right now, and hopefully we can bring it back by the end of the month. Thursday, February 3rd. We still have our great courses, Industrial Revolution. It's been going great. Everyone loves this one. If you're interested, please sign up. I know we still have room. There is a limited number in the Tuscany room, but we have yet to hit that number. So there is still room if you want to see this great course. Also at 11, we have the balance class with Melanie. This is the first extra class that was added on Thursday, and I've heard it's already full. So I'm so glad that everyone is utilizing those extra classes that we have for you. And this is just life enrichment, trying to bring you more of what you like. So please sign up if you're not going to go take your name off, because I know there's a wait list. Going right along, Friday, February 4th is Wear Red Day, and that is for the cardiovascular disease in support of it. So wear red. I threw some signs up, so hopefully that'll be a reminder. I think Wayne loves wearing the color red, so he's definitely going to be in red that day. We also have line dancing with Brittany at 11. Let's not forget about trivia at 9:30. Never forget about trivia at 9:30. Also at 11 is diamond painting. That's another extra class we threw in there, right in the arts and crafts room. Again, happy hour is canceled, so keep that in mind. And for now, that's all I have. I know the Olympics also starts, I think it's this week.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm speaking about it.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, I'm going to go ahead. Who should I go to first, Joe or Wayne?
Wayne?
Let's go to Wayne. We're going to kick it to Wayne.
Well, hi, everybody. And on Friday, when you said I'm almost always in a red shirt, I will also be wearing a red sweater that day. So I'll be nice and red that day.
There we go.
Now, what I wanted to be here and talk about today is Civil War class. Last year, I know quite a few people came to my Civil War class, and I've been teaching Civil War for Ollie for, I did it for 8 years. And then because of the COVID, I couldn't do Ollie, so I went and did it here live. And that's what I'm going to do this starting a week from Thursday. So a week from Thursday in the Tuscany room from 1 to 3, I will doing part 2 of the Civil War. Last year, I did part 1, which was talking about causes of the Civil War leading up to the first 2 years of the Civil War, 1861 and 1862. And then I said I would come back this year and do 1863, 1864, and 1865. Now, if you think, well, I missed the first year, so there's no need to show up. Well, I'm going to do a review the first class. So the first class, I will spend the whole class reviewing what I talked about last year. So it'll be a class talking about some of the economics, some of the political issues, some of the battles and campaigns. And one thing I always tell, or I get a question I should say, ask is, what's the difference between a campaign and a theater? Because I always talk about the theaters. Well, a theater is an area of operations. A campaign is where you have one or more armies of one side have a particular objective, i.e. like when Grant wanted to capture Vicksburg, that was a campaign to capture Vicksburg. So when I talk about theaters, I will be talking about the Eastern Theater, which is from the Atlantic Ocean to the Appalachian Mountains. That is primarily Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and the main part of Florida. Then the Western Theater, which is not out here, that is from the Appalachian Mountains to the Mississippi. So that's primarily Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, the western part of Georgia, the panhandle of Florida, and the eastern part of Louisiana. And then finally, you have the Trans-Mississippi. That's the part where we would be in. And that is primarily the states of Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, the Indian Territory. They didn't call it Oklahoma in those days. The western part of Louisiana and Texas, and a little bit of the New Mexico territory. So there you go, because what I do is I will talk about the Eastern Theater, one class in like 1863, then I'll come back the next week and do the Western Theater in 1863.
Mhm.
So I give you kind of a flow of one theater, and then the next week I'll come and do the other theater, bringing it up to date. Plus, I'll also be talking about some of the major issues that were political, economic, etc. as we go. And that is pretty much it. So I'll turn it
Wow.
back to Brittany.
That sounds
Fascinating.
amazing. That sounds amazing. And
It sure does.
you will sign up on Cubicle and, this is a free class. This is free.
Yeah, you don't have to pay $90 for this
Yeah.
class.
No, this one is free. So
Don't
keep
miss
that
it.
in mind and don't forget to sign up. There still will be a limit, but so far, like I said, we haven't reached the limit even with great courses going on. So please make sure you sign up and we'll put some flyers out soon just to remind everyone.
Great.
We're gonna kick it back to Joe now.
Okay, so on this lovely Wednesday, I just want to say and shout out to Brittany and to the dietary staff that really did a nice job about helping us out with the Chinese New Year. We had a real nice time traveling about the buildings and delivering some treats to all of you guys and hopefully some fabulous fortunes for
Yes.
the upcoming year, right? Which is the year of the tiger.
Yeah,
So there you go, But thank you. And we really had a good time.
it was fun.
It was. So I think Brittany mentioned earlier, but yes, indeed, it is Groundhog Day.
Yay.
Punxsutawney Phil. By the time that you are watching this show, I'm sure he will have either tried to venture out of his hole. I don't know how that's going to go because as you know, for those of us that have family and friends on the East Coast,
Mhm.
they have some serious cold going on and some serious snow.
Oh, yes, they do.
Last couple of days ago, they had a big storm and another one is coming, unfortunately. So it's still in the heart of the winter and it can be tough out there.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, my friend over here was telling me when we were speaking before our show started that apparently Punxsutawney Phil is not the favored groundhog story out here in Vegas. So please update us, Wayne.
Yes.
Yes, they have Mojave Max. And if you go up to the visitor center in Red Rock, you can actually visit Mojave Max.
Oh,
They have a little
That's
outdoor
cool.
area where he's in. Now, if you want to see him though, you have to get there early because desert turtles, and that's what he is, a desert tortoise,
Mhm.
they like to bury in the ground as the sun comes up. So if you are out there too late, he will be underground by the time you get there. But they do have Mojave Max out there, and you can
Mojave
go
Max is
Mojave
all
Max.
right.
easier
Mojave
to say
Max.
than Mr. Groundhog Phil. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to attempt
You
Mr.
get
Groundhog.
you get an A for the day if you can spell Punxsutawney, right?
Oh,
I know.
Isn't there an X in
Yes,
there?
there is
And
an
that's
X
all
in
that's
there.
important. I spelled it kind of.
There is, for sure. So I thought also it was interesting when I was looking up, I have all these trivia books with all this kind of interesting stuff about weird and wacky holidays and things going on. It happens to be National Crepe Day.
Oh.
So if you are an aficionado of crepes, you might want to make some crepes for yourself. And this I thought was particularly interesting. It is National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day.
Oh.
Now, I like my ice
Breakfast?
cream. Yes, I do. But I don't know about having it for breakfast. I can't honestly say that I ever recall a time having ice cream for breakfast. But it is National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. If you are interested in attempting that. It is also National Sled Dog Day. Sled Dog Day. So I don't know if any of you ever experienced that. I had a very dear friend who kind of had that on her bucket list of things she wanted to do, and she said it was amazing.
I'm sure.
Up in Alaska, she went on a sled dog experience, and she said that was just quite something. And it is going to be on the 4th of February. And it's kind of strange because I think COVID has kind of just taken over the media for certain between that and football. I mean, but our Olympics, our Winter Olympics are starting in 2 days.
Yes.
On the 4th of February. We will be, our athletes will be in Beijing. They will be participating in the Olympics, and I have more information to come on that, some interesting trivia, and we'll talk about that probably every day, just to give everybody a little bit of an update. But it's kind of like the best kept secret, right? Nobody's really kind of talking about that too much right now.
No, we're not.
I know.
And it's this week.
Yeah, it's coming up.
But I
and
mean, we
it's-
might not get to it because it's Groundhog Day and this show's gonna show again. So it's just gonna keep repeating itself. We
That's
might
right.
never get to the 4th.
That's
but-
right. Just a reminder on the COVID front, since we have to always speak about that. Remember, masks encouraged, welcomed, and required at certain venues. So please make sure you always have a mask available. Wash those hands, wash those hands, wash those hands. Steer clear as best as you can from being around large groups of people. We are doing very well. The metrics in that they use to measure COVID are definitely starting on the downside. So that is very exciting news. But again, let me remind you, we're still over 25%. So that is still a very high number, right? We were almost encroaching on 50%, God
Oh my
forbid. We were
gosh.
at 49. So instead of 1 in every 2 people you meet, it's down to like 1 in every 4, right? But
Mhm.
still, bottom line is you've got to be careful. We've got to be careful. We'll be on the lookout for our letters that we will be sending out. I believe there is one out, today. So just be on the alert and be smart, when you're out and about, make sure you wear your masks. I don't know if any of you, I haven't gotten any feedback yet, if any of you have been out and about and tried to get your masks. This was a federal government initiative where they're giving away 3 of the N95 masks that are bagged together in like a cellophane bag. And they're supposed to be available and made available at like the CVS and Walgreens, at the pharmacies, and also at the grocery stores. So I haven't gotten any feedback from any of you as to whether in fact you were successful in getting them. I tried to get mine on Sunday at CVS, and they said they were coming on Monday.
Okay.
So they should be coming out, and you can, if you're out and about, you can try and get your free masks. So.
All right, I'll give
All
it
right.
a try as well. And before we end, I just have 1 or 2 announcements. The first one is the committee meetings. Remember,
Oh,
they
yes.
may or may not be canceled. Just check with the chair of the committee. They might be virtual or they might be canceled. They are still on the calendars just because I'm not sure who is canceling, but please let me know if you have canceled. I can take it right off a cubicle. And just anyone who has questions, please ask your leads of each committee to make sure if you have a meeting or not. And the last thing is the transportation. Transportation to churches on Sunday has come back, and please sign up on Cubicle. We now have a sign up on Cubicle. There are 2 times. 7:30 goes to one church. I don't want to say the wrong church right now, so I'm not going to say it. And 9:30 goes to another church, but 9:30 also can be for any other churches that are requested. So don't forget, you can request other churches other than the 2 that are listed. All right,
Great.
that's all I have. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Wayne. You'll see me and Joe again here. Have a great day. And then maybe
Enjoy.
we'll see you again tomorrow.